Hello and welcome back to the field. Today we're discussing onion white rot, and I've got a couple of developments I want to show you, and it indicates what a problem this one is, and also I will also be giving the solution that actually works, and I'll show you why it works. I record this video in the same sort of manner as normal, going through each step and all that, but I realise that not everybody's got the time to watch these sort of videos, so what I've tried to do is give you the conclusions first. First of all is point one. Now then, this one was buckets of garlic with fresh, newly bought seed, cloves, planted into fresh compost. The compost hadn't been used anywhere else but in, actually being made on the plots, so it hasn't had onions included in it at all, because I don't include any onion matter in my composts, trying to keep away from onion white rot. But it's there. This onion white rot can only have come in from two sources: from the actual compost itself via weeds added with soil on the weed roots, or possibly it would be added on the cloves that you bought. So that's number one. Number two is my former greenhouse that blew away over this winter storms never ever has had onions or garlic planted in there. So putting new supplies in there and using those beds as onion beds instead seemed like a fantastic idea. However, roughly 1/4 of it has got onion white rot. The only way it could really have got in there is by two methods: one, on the compost that I added, or two, on footwear travelled across, which is a strong suspect to me. Number three is something I expected to happen after I realised what I've done, what a stupid mistake I made. This is the bed up at the allotment that I applied garlic water to the soil last July, and that is the solution, because it works. And this is why it works. All of this bed was treated with water, but I ran out in this last little section here, and that last little section has got onion white rot. All the rest of the crop is absolutely perfectly fine. So what I'll do now is I will go ahead and chop up longer explanations of each of the three different pointers. This is a video I definitely did not want to make, and it spells a little bit of a disaster for me, because I'm at my field, which at the moment I would consider to be disease free from all the usual stuff. The garlic and onions that I've planted over there have been remarkably clean. I'm very pleased with them. Smallish harvest, not bad at all, useful. And I also have buckets of garlic that I did bring from the last place. Now it wasn't touched by any of the soil up at the plots. I just used fresh compost that hadn't had onions put in it, because I wanted to make sure that everything stayed away from the diseases such as onion white rot. Guess what? Now this was using fresh seed, Casablanca, 3 tubers of garlic, Casablanca, absolutely fine. 2 with onion white rot. To say I'm gutted is an absolute understatement. I've gone to the extent of not wearing the same pair of shoes at the plot as here, and yet here we are with infected with infected cloves. This is my version of a complete disaster. Well, this is the second area. This is the area of the old greenhouse, and down on the left there under the cages is the area that succumbed to white rot. This is earlier in the year footage. This is area 3. This is my main bed at the allotments, and on the right hand side is the Troy onion set, same as everywhere else, and in the middle here is some elephant garlic. On the left hand side is the section that was not treated properly with garlic water. More about that in a minute. So you can see the rest of the bed is absolutely fine. I'm sorry about the weeds. Having so much to cope with the gardening, the field, and 2 allotments, it's not really working out well. But there we go. So back to the garlic and onions. So these sets were exactly the same sets as everywhere else. They've worked everywhere apart from when they're isolated to the problem. The elephant garlic right next door where the water was applied is absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And as you can see, the bulbs are absolutely perfect. And that did. So I hope that video helps you. I'm at the plot at the moment. I've harvested the garlic, and I'm not going to harvest the overwintering onions just yet because they're not quite ready. Let me show you. So this was where the onions were. That worked an absolute treat. I'll go around the other side of the bed so the shadow doesn't get in the way. I've replanted with some pickling onions for the autumn. Then this is the overwintering onions. This section had wood chips over the top of the soil. Has done a reasonably good job. The actual bulb sizes are of a good standard. I don't want them any larger than that. That's one full pot. So I don't want show standard onions to be grown, to be honest with you. There is some weed in here. When I harvest the onions, I'll completely weed the bed. This bed is a brand new bed made in the autumn from grassland. It's got couch grass underneath here, and there's been a bit of a problem, but has taken 2 weeds only so far. Good weeds down for the bed. And actually, I'm saying this is more of a success than a failure, because we'll see the bed after it's finished. This section here, the onions are very slightly bigger, and this is the one where it had good compost and it didn't really have wood chips on top, but it's been a problem with the weeds. So the wood chips definitely help with the weeds. But the bulb size and the plants all the way through have been slightly bigger than the wood chip area. So the wood chip has had a small effect, but not enough to deter me using it again. So I would deem the wood chip as a bit of a success, to be honest with you. In this last section, it had slightly deeper compost and slightly better weed control, and again bigger bulbs. So this last section was also pretty good, but overall there's no really white rot. The bulbs are firm, they're pretty good, a good crop of onions once they get harvested. So there we go, all finished now. The garlic harvest and onion harvest is a success. Very little disease up here, lovely. Nice to report on something going well. And that was from a bed that was infested with couch grass just 6 months ago. So the methods work. There's no need for treatments on up here so far because it's just been grass for the last few years. So onion white rot is highly unlikely to exist. But you never know, and I will err on the side of caution now that I've introduced the fungus from the buckets up here, which is a bit devastating, to be honest with you. Anyway, so if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, make a comment in the comments below. All helps the channel. Fool the algorithm into thinking people actually enjoy these videos. Cheers guys, see you on the next one. Bye for now.